Hello, my friend, and welcome to my channel. Today we've got Happy Birthday Lou at Loopy Frog Nails, Instagram collaboration hosted by Tinkerbell 1970s and painted by Pinky. Our theme was Kawaii. Here we go. I've started off with Miltiques Formula 2. Here is Moonshine Manny, Wild Horses, had to redeem my label, got acetone on it. Isn't that a beautiful, it's like a peachy pink with some serious gold shimmer. So pretty. Now I had to add as much thinner as I could get in the bottle and still be able to mix it. This one was one of the rather thick ones. Sometimes they're like that when they've got so much going on in them. For me, it's an easy fix. Just add some thinner, run it through the shaker, and, and I might have to add more thinner later. We'll see. Who knows? But I definitely needed to add some this first go around. Gonna tap across the end and pull some excess off. We're gonna go in for a second coat of Wild Horses. This is a polish from her Dupe It project, I believe. And, it's my goal to, own all of them. Crazy, I know. It's nuts. Second coat done. We're gonna top this one with some I&M out the door. Get it dry down through the layers. Now, I am gonna show you, because I'm doing two manicures at the same time, one on each hand, and they're different, and I totally messed my thumb up. Look at that. I got my damping dish with a little bit of acetone in it on my finger. I'm going to tap, tap, tap until it's smooth, and then I'm going to let this totally dry. After I get done tapping, I'm going to let it totally dry, and then I'm going to go over the tip where the boo-boo is and give that a quick once over. A little dabby dab, touch up. And then once that dries down quite a bit, I'm going to go over the whole nail with another coat of polish and then top coat it again. I cannot tell you how many times I've done this trick. It's so worth it instead of having to take all of that nail polish off and start over. Now it's looking a little bumpy lumpy here, but by the time I got done with it, you couldn't tell. I mean, kind of look at it right there and you can see a little dip. But I'm telling you, I'm looking at it right now. Cannot see it. Cannot see no bumps, lumps, nothing. Perfect. Maniology M027 is our stamping plate today. We're going to get the blue film off of it. And we're going to clean it with some acetone. And it's such a cute plate. I'll be using Bases Loaded Lacquer on the black to stamp with today. My H. Le Corsador scraper. And I pulled out way too many stampers. But I'll tell you why. I ended up doing 2 accent nails because what I wanted to do didn't work out. So I'm using this middle buffet area part of the plate to just pull up some random images. And I'm going to fill them in with colors, so some advanced stamping going on today. And I say advanced stamping. It's not hard. If I can do it with my shaky hands, you can do it too. So I've got those stamped out. We're going to do our cleanup now. I've got my scraper card cleaned up, and now we're cleaning the plate. Got to put our toys away clean, ladies and gents, because, next time you want to play with it, you don't want to be having to scrub out some really hard dried paint up in those edged, images. I'm just telling you. I'll be using Orly Be Daring and Orly Oh Snap, as well as Orly's Far Out, and one more. And this one here is So Fly to fill in these images. I'm using a little art detail brush. You could use a dotting tool, toothpick, whatever you want. You can even use the brush from the polish bottle. Just, you gotta be real careful when you do that. I'm not good enough to do it that way, so that's why I'm using this little bitty tiny brush. I got a little bit of the polish sitting out on my mat there, making it easier for me to do this. Now this is a rather long video, and it's because I'm going to show you all of the filling in of all of the colors. A lot of people have told me they find this type of video very relaxing. They really enjoy it, watching all of the process. And so I just decided not to cut it down too much today. I just would share all of it. I did not go over this image with some smudge free, so I'm having to be very careful not to drag my brush, because if you drag your brush over these, you will pull up that stamping from the stamper and smudge it, and it's just not pretty. So I do recommend that maybe you might want to go over it with some smudge-free top coat and let that dry before doing your color fill in. But you do you, boo. You do it your way. I'm just showing you how I do it. So I'm going in around this big image here, and I'm going to do a little bit of kind of outlining with this light blue. I do this on other parts of this manicure too, but I'm going to do some outlining and then go in with the brush from the bottle. It's a time saver when you can do that, when you've got a big area, but you've still got some intricate pieces to get into. So this way seems to work really well for me. So I'm just I'm almost using the paintbrush like a dotting tool. And now I'm going in with the whole big brush, because I've got all this open room to fill in with one color. So I feel like I can still handle it, manage it with the big brush. There we go. Ta-da! Now on to the yellow. Now, I don't know that this technically is 100% Kawaii, but this was the closest stamping plate that I could find in my collection that really felt right for this here collab. So I went with it. Plus, it was in my untried plates, and I really did want to use it. And I know Miss Loopy Loo Frog. She is a very, very sweet lady, and she would not mind me at all using this type of image for this collab. I'm quite sure that she, she understands. Some of us are limited in the things we own. I mean, I have a ton of stamping plates, and I look through them, and unless I just totally miss something. Now, I did have another plate, but it was like little polish bottles and makeups and things like that was kind of kawaii looking too. But I used that last year, I think, for her birthday manicure, so I didn't want to use the same one. So, yay, we got to use a stamping plate that had never been used in my collection before. Okay, there we go, back to the big brush. See how I filled out the lines, kind of traced it out, and then now I'm just kind of filling it in with the big brush. Man, that makes such a big difference. Getting some more polish out on my little matty mat. And I really did love the colors of these. And yeah, technically they don't go with my base polish. You know, the wild horses that we just painted our nails with earlier from Moonshine Manny. But I wanted that on my nails. You know, I always look at my untried polishes and try to find something that I really want to wear. You know, pick one, let one speak to me and jump out. And that's the one that went on. And then I decided to do these. And I wasn't going to change my base polish. And I really wanted to get this manicure for the collaboration done and submitted on time. Because like I've said in other videos, we had some wild weather here and some power outages and some craziness going on. You know, and when you're just trying to stay cool, when it's like 115 degrees outside, and you've got one little window air conditioner unit that you're running off a generator that you're praying your neighbors don't come and steal in the middle of the night. Yeah, things are wild. So, being able to just get back to doing some manicures and the AC is lovely. So, we're just rolling with all of it. That's what you got to do. Life throws you lemons. Make some lemonade. Ooh, lemonade. That sounds good. Yeah, I could go for some lemonade. We might do that after I get through with this voiceover. Go make me some lemonades. I'm a sweet tea drinker by nature. I was born and raised in the South, so it's a staple for me. But I do like a glass of lemonade in the summer, so there you go. So down in the comments, tell me what your drink of choice is. You can be honest. We all grown here. We can, if you like to have a, bottle of wine after work, let me know. Tell me what you do. What you do where you're at. Do you like hot tea, iced tea, coffee, Kool-Aid? Tell me what your drink of choice is. I'm always interested. And some of you might have some that I haven't even tried, so it might inspire me to go give something a try. But I really, really loved these. They're so bright and colorful, very fun, and I just knew that when I saw this plate that it was going to have to be a fill it in with color kind of manicure. Now, what I tried to do was pick up some of the smaller images on the sides, like the little single leaf kawaii looking little images, and stamp those like in the corners of the other nails that weren't getting the decals. But I just couldn't get them to pick up very strong, and I just didn't have time to play with it. So I didn't want to fight through different stampers and stamping polishes and things like that. So I just decided to just stick to the 2 decal accent nails. And I'm glad I did, because it stopped me from being frustrated. And sometimes you do have to just make decisions like that. Sometimes you have to walk away from it and come back, or sometimes you just have to say, let it go. Let it go, let it go. And I do love this green. This is such a pretty, it's like a pastel neon. It's so pretty. And y'all know I don't wear just like a ton of green polishes, but that one I could see me wearing all on its own. That green is so cool. I have to pull it out. So I am going to go over these with the Wet n Wild Clear. I'm going to let them dry all the way. I didn't fill that one all the way in because my nail's not that big, and I knew that I didn't need that much of it. So I just painted in enough to fill in my nail, cover my nail. And I am going over it with the Wet n Wild Clear, and then I'll let these dry for quite a while before I did this, putting the Wet n Wild on it, because I wanted these to be very pliable and be able to lay flat on my nails. You guys know sometimes I rush it, sometimes I like make my decals and do them the next day. And in that case, if you use this Wet n Wild Clear, it really does make a difference on how pliable your decals will be and how well they'll transfer. I learned this trick from a bunch of YouTubers, but Guylene's the one. Guyline325 is the one that clued me in on the Wet n Wild Clear being the bestesses. So I'm applying some sticky base coat to the 2 nails that are getting the decals. And we're going to let that sit for just a little while and dry, not long, maybe a minute or 2. And let that dry down just a little bit and still have its stickiness. And then we're going to apply these. Now, they're hard to see through because I've covered in the whole thing. So I'm trying to make sure I'm lining it up. Mush it down. And it's sticking very nicely. See how pliable it is? And I'll be honest, I wore the Wild Horses all on its own to work one day. And I made the decals the same day I painted my nails. And then I did these decals the next day. And you can see they're still very pliable. They're not like cracking. And they're not breaking on me. And they're going on just like a dream. This is how you want it to be. And if using Wet n Wild Clear is the answer, sign me up. Order me a case of that stuff. I love it. Trying to get that excess out of my way. There we go. All right. Got that all cleaned up. Tap, tap, tap it down. Oh yeah, with a little bit of minor cleanup we'll be good. Okay, I've applied the other one, and now I'm going around with my little trimmy scissors around the tip just to kind of get some of that out of my way. And now we're going to go in with my cuticle tool and kind of break away the excess. Cut it away. Trust me, I am not hurting myself. I'm not cutting down into my cuticle. I am very, very careful with this tool. I have damaged my nails before with different nail tools. I know how badly you can hurt something. So I'm not being dangerous here, I promise. Tapping everything down, making sure it's sticking very well. What a really nice transfer. I'm going to go in with some acetone and my cleanup brush. I'm going to tap across the end to get that to kind of melt down over the tip of my fingernail. And I go down the sides. I tap down the sides even a little bit and let that that acetone just helps really meld that decal and that polish down to the nail and connect with the nail polish that's underneath it. It's like glue sticking them together. But you don't want to do too much because you'll rub off your stamping, and you don't want to do that. I do go in under my nail and on the side of my knuckle because I'm very messy. Get it all clean. And then I go in from underneath and I'm kind of cleaning some more on that tip. I'm telling you, I don't want a bunch of goopy decal under the nail. It'll just wear me out while I'm wearing this manicure. So I did try to clean that up really well. Kind of tap, tap, tapping right there. I've got a spot that I was working on. And I do the same for this other nail. Do a little bit of wisping around the edge, some tapping for the cleanup. And you do get better at this over time. And I don't always do so well on it. Sometimes I get a little aggressive and I pay the price because I end up messing it up a little bit. So just take your time. If you can, take your time. Go at it a little bit at a time. Yep, got a blob over there on the side. But tapping on the side of the brush really does help. Instead of just brushing over everything, sometimes doing the tap, tap, tap is really all you need. Out of frame again. At least it didn't last long this time. There we go. And I know this is a rather long video. A lot of steps to this manicure. And I wanted to show all of it. All of the beautifulness of this here cute, cute manicure. I just love it. And I do hope our friend Lou has a wonderful birthday. Alright, we're going to top this one with the smudge-free top coat. This side of the decal has not had anything like that on it yet. And we're going to top this with that without smearing our stamped image. And then once this is completely dry, I'm going to go in with Posh Top Coat and finish her off. Get that nice glossy quick dry top coat down. Seal this one in. And I'm so, so happy this one worked out. Nothing got smeared. Nothing got ruined. Nothing went wrong. No struggle bus. What a wonderful experience. I had a good time with this one. We've all been there. We've all been frustrated and angry with our manicures. And if you haven't, I'd like to know your secret. Tell me down below. Hi, Woody. How you doing? Good job. Thank you. Here is my swatch photo. I do hope you enjoyed this one. I want to thank you for watching. Until next time, be good to yourself.